won't be trying so hard to keep up with Plato. His job is to protect Plato from attack from anyone else.
Yeah, although he is duty-bound to keep up with the leading car, and it's a fine line between actually giving a team leader a bit of a break at the front and infringing the rules, which say you must keep up.
27 laps, that's the new race distance. That's been confirmed now as everybody makes their way through the Seat curves and then through Scotsman Corner, the right-hander, up towards a tricky little section over the chicane. This is the area where we saw James Kay off just before the safety car came out, and Plato again beginning to make that little bit of a break in the Seat. Watch the onboard over the curve there, staying off the curve that you were talking about earlier on the left, and now it's quite hard on the brakes again. Tippy toe. Gareth Howell just coming through a little bit wide in the background, and Howell lost a place in the background. Giovanardi managed to get through. Yeah, the Vauxhall has got past Howell.
Oh, side by side. That's Smith up the inside of Chilton. Chilton cutting back with Pinckney as well. So that doesn't look like it's going to work out for Gavin Smith. But yeah, Darren Turner has been very, very impressive. You know, in all conditions, straight away, jumping in the car. He's been very quick. And as you say, yesterday in the wet, he was excellent. Pinckney's getting through past Smith as well. Good drive.
David Pinckney, can he hold it? Yeah, he does. That was pretty good. I think Smith might have another go at the bottom corner. Oh, it's gone wrong! Smith hits Pinckney.
Yeah, I think Smith got a tap, though, from Jordan first, which put him sideways.
Yeah, I think there was contact from somebody behind, and Smith and Pinckney I don't think are going to get out of there. Take another look at this.
If you look in your background, there's been contact, or maybe not actually. Maybe Smith just got wide on the corner and lost the back end. I'm not so sure on that second run that Mike Jordan was actually anything to do with it at all. He may not have been close enough. But
yeah, it gets so narrow down there. If you run a bit wide through the first one, you're easily on the grass. Safety car out again. This is going to be a long race.
So restart now. Safety car in.
Here we go, all set to go racing once again. Jason Plato takes the green flag. We're racing once more. Darren Turner in second position. These two again trying to ease away from Matt Neal. But watch out for the Vauxhall in fourth place. The green, white and red car of Fabrizio Giovanardi. Surely he's going to go on the attack here down through the right-hander where we saw the incident a moment ago. Gareth Howell, though, would love to have his position back. He lost it in that last little section of the race. Gareth Howell is applying the pressure to the back of the number 11 Vauxhall Astra Sport hatch. Behind Howell, watch out for Turkington, then Chilton. Mike Jordan's running 8th, and then Hughes in 9th position. And off goes Chilton. Chilton's lost the front bumper.
Yeah, I wonder if that was through the chicane. He was very, very exciting to watch through the chicane yesterday. This is coming, yeah, he just out of the back there, got a wheel on that outside curve and started a spin and just lost control of it. This is the exit curve there. Gets a slide on, corrects, and the car just swaps ends as quickly as anything.
Exactly what you were saying about these painted curbs. That was like glass. He had absolutely no grip, did he?
None at all, and very difficult to control the front-wheel drive car in those conditions. Well, he's on his way back. I don't know whether that's to the pits or not.
He's done pretty well. That was a hefty old hit, and to be able to drive it back, it's a pretty solid car. Oh, and Giovanardi big sideways. That's Howell back past him. Gareth Howell has repassed the Italian, so much for Giovanardi putting the pressure on Matt Neal. He's lost a place to Gareth Howell, and now he's got to watch his mirrors because Colin Turkington is right there as well.
Oh, and now Mike Jordan up the inside there of Turkington.
Yeah, that is a battle for 6th place. So Mike Jordan trying to get 6th. He's got it. The white, blue and red car of Mike Jordan, there he is, he's up into 6th place. He's battled his way past Colin Turkington, and remember, Mike Jordan started at the back after alternator problems. The team's been working flat out this morning trying to get the car ready. He had difficulties in qualifying yesterday as well, and this is going pretty well for Mike Jordan. Interestingly enough, his son Andrew won the rallycross event here at Knockhill a few weeks ago. Became the youngest ever winner of rallycross event, the top class rallycross event. And now Mike Jordan wants to show the old man can do it as well.
Yeah, well, he said to me that he was really confident he could have been in the top 6 in qualifying. He was actually running 5th when the alternator packed up in qualifying. So he knows he's got good pace in the wet, and he's showing us that now.
Yeah, it's going very, very quickly. Now his next target is going to be Fabrizio Giovanardi, and Giovanardi hasn't shown the sort of pace I expected. Shedden down the inside. Shedden trying to get past Turkington at the hairpin. I don't... Did he make it?
Yes, he had.
Yeah.
And he put Turkington out onto the slippery curves on the exit, lost traction, and look how much ground he's lost. Here's a replay. A late dive up the inside. Turkington thinks about closing the door. They end up just touching. Turkington gets out on those slippery, painted curves, loses all traction.
Jason Plato was on pole position, and just as at Snetterton, he's going to come through and take the first victory of the day, and he's backed up brilliantly by his teammate Darren Turner. It's a Seat 1-2 at Knockhill. Matt Neal holds on for third, Gareth Howell is fourth, Giovanardi for Vauxhall finishes in fifth. Mike Jordan, is he going to hold sixth? Yes, he is, despite the attention of Gordon Shedden towards the end. Plato and Turner, 1-2 for Seat. Matt Neal in third place, then Gareth Howell in fourth position. Again, another team formation there. Giovanardi in fifth. Mike Jordan, a strong sixth from the very back. Then Shedden seventh, despite lots of pit stops. Turkington eighth, Jason Hughes in ninth, and Mark Proctor took the final point in 10th. So Jason Plato's on pole position, Matt Neal lines up second, Gareth Howell is third, then it's Giovanardi fourth, Mike Jordan is fifth, Gordon Shedden sixth, and Darren Turner now has to start from 10th position. The second race of the day for the touring cars here at Knockhill in Scotland, about to get underway in completely different weather conditions to the first. They're all on slick tyres, but will it be dry offline as well as online? Jason Plato hopes to make it 2 out of 2 here from pole position. Away we go, and it's a good start from Plato, but also from Matt Neal. Howell a little bit slow away, Giovanardi much better away this time. He had it in first gear this time, and the Vauxhall in third place, attacking a little bit, and behind it's close between Howell and Shedden. Shedden could be forced a bit wide, he's trying to go around the outside of his own teammate, but Plato again has made it through. Howell and Shedden, careful boys, you are teammates.
Yeah, they're trying to give each other room as Martin Bell gets one of those tyres sliding at the rear. Shedden and Howell very close together, again with a little bit of sliding between them, but they just about gave each other enough room.
Yeah, good to see. Martin Bell gets back on track as well. Howell is still just ahead of Shedden, so they're running in fourth and fifth position, but it's Plato once again who's trying to make the break. But remember, instead of having wingman Darren Turner behind him, he's got championship leader Matt Neal in second, but Giovanardi is the one who's attacking. The Vauxhall in third place. Look at him nudging up behind Matt Neal. Matt Neal's trying to shut the door, but Giovanardi's getting alongside. Now it's Vauxhall power versus Honda power, and the Vauxhall's pulling alongside as they head up towards the first corner, and Giovanardi's surely going to move into second place. He's on the inside, and the Vauxhall's into second position.
Well, that looked just like Muller and Neal last year, didn't it, down at the hairpin? Although last year it was Neal giving the rub coming through that hairpin. Oh!
Shedden's gone through, but he's gone wide.
He has, and he's lost 2 places, 3 places. Turkington's not going to give up there.
He gets squeezed down. Oh, Howell sideways. Surely he's not going to hold that. Oh, Jordan has to go to the outside, and Howell did brilliantly not to go off into the tyres.
Yeah, but we're seeing this cold rear tyre problem in these early laps until they get some temperature in them. Hughes gets pushed out wide by Shedden, and through goes Turner, I think that's what.
Yes, Darren Turner gaining a place, so he's up to 8th position now. Really tricky conditions these as they try and get their slicks up to temperature. Tom Chilton in behind Darren Turner as well, and Pickney on the wet stuff on the inside, slides down the inside of Hughes. 2 cars off, and that's Howell. Gareth Howell is in the tyre barrier, and I'm not sure quite, there was another car there, so our man is out. I don't think I'm going to talk to him on the radio right now. It's probably not the right time.
No, well, he was off with one of the MGs, wasn't he? So let's see if we can get a replay. It may have been somebody locking up. He's turning into the corner there, and, well, he got contact. No, he got contact from the right-hand side from one of the MGs, probably trying to stop and just couldn't stop the car on. Oh, they got locked together as well.
Yeah, that was Turkington, you were right. It was Colin Turkington he tangled with, and they both went straight in, but Turkington's got away with it, and he has rejoined. Gareth Howell's rejoined, and he's got back on again. Safety car is on circuit though, and it looks as though they're going to get picked up by the safety car. It's restart time. Jason Plato heads up the hill with the Vauxhall of Giovanardi chasing him in second. Matt Neal a little further back in third, then Mike Jordan, and Giovanardi having a little look immediately as they go into the Seat curves, hopping over the curb, trying to watch the slippery bits. If you move offline, you're in trouble. Plato's now got his mirrors full.
Yeah, Giovanardi looks really strong, doesn't he? He doesn't mind those cold rear tyres at the moment. I think Plato's being a little bit cautious. Giovanardi's trying to seize the moment while the tyres are still a little bit cold to pounce on him and then defend like mad, but he's really trying hard.
He is trying very, very hard at this Knockhill venue where Vauxhall took their last win a whole 12 months ago. Giovanardi's so keyed up. He's been in good form this weekend, in a good mood, and the team has been saying he's really up for the battle this weekend. uses a bit of the puddle on the inside to get a bit of an overlap. Now they're bashing as they come out of the hairpin.
Yeah, but we know how good that Vauxhall is on the straight. Look at that engine power, that Sedamo engine power that BXR have got under the bonnet. That's pulling him past.
Giovanardi gets into the lead. Plato may try to tap, but watch out behind. Matt Neal's joining in as well. Giovanardi's in front for Vauxhall. The Italian, on his first visit to this Knockhill circuit in Scotland, has fought his way past Plato already. On board with Matt Neal down the Italian's hit Plato. Plato sideways, gets it back together. Jordan gets past both of them. Shedden also going through. Matt Neal and Jason Plato. It's contact again between them.
Unbelievable. And Chilton's coming through now as well. So once again, contact between these two protagonists.
Yeah, Shedden was trying to get past Jordan there as well. Take another look at this, Tim.
Oh, very late lunge down the inside, very late lunge, and there's not a lot of braking that you do there for that Clark corner, and it looked like Matt had a very late lunge and just caught the back of Plato, put him wide. Plato did well to hold it, but they've all lost places, and Jordan is now right up there.
Yeah, but Shedden is up to second. Gordon Shedden is now second behind Giovanardi. Oh, he's been hit by Jordan. Shedden gathers it back. Oh, and he's been pushed again, and Shedden's off this time. Mike Jordan now, is he up into second, or he's side by side with Turner? Turner takes second. Turner, who started 10th, is now up into second place. Still it's Darren Turner trying to put the pressure on the Italian. Still not quite enough space there, but if he can make Giovanardi run wide, could be a chance down to Real Radio. Hairpin contact as they come through the left-hander at Hislop, and this gives Matt Neal a chance to go into second and maybe even take the lead. The orange car, Matt Neal, series leader, he's got into second place, and Darren Turner is pushed back down to third.
Oh, Neal's got an overlap a little bit. Is he going to get down the inside? But Giovanardi's going to force him onto the wet stuff.
Yeah, he is. But and now look, Darren Turner's taking advantage of that. Side by side with the Seat. The Seat trying to go around the outside into the hairpin. Matt Neal's going to try and tuck back into second place. Oh, this is magic racing, and it's clean so far. And Gavin Smith now, and the other Vauxhall's got a chance to try and take third place. He's got alongside the Seat, and again that horsepower from the Vauxhall engine is enabling him to get past as they come up the hill. I think he'll have the position, or no, Darren Turner's going to make him work for it. And Turner, that was brave, held on to third. Nobody knows how this is going to go. The teams can't call it. They're all watching anxiously from the pit road, but they don't know what's going to happen. And look at this, Matt Neal still tight in behind Darren Turner, and he's got a little bit of an overlap here. He's down the inside. Matt Neal taking second place. Darren Turner a little slow out of Scotsman. Oh, and across the grass they all go. Matt Neal pushed out of the way again, he's back to third. Shedden's been pitched. Shedden gets pitched by Gavin Smith. He's off big time into the tyre barrier, and surely it's the end of the race for him this time.
Well, Shedden was trying to move over to protect the back of Matt Neal and got tagged from the rear. But that was all caused by Matt Neal and Turner running side by side through the chicane.
Giovanardi's got a break now. Giovanardi has got a little bit of a gap. Take another look, see what happens here.
Watch Shedden. He sees the Vauxhall come over. He moves over to try and protect him, gets a tap, and of course a little tap on the rear, and the guy's a passenger.
This is going on to the final lap now. Can Giovanardi hold on for victory for Vauxhall after a year-long drought? He's going to have to work for it because Darren Turner's still right there, and so is Matt Neal in third. Plato now up to fourth. It's been a great recovery drive for Jason Plato. He's now fourth, ahead of Chilton and Smith. Down into Scotsman corner. Turner locking up the brakes a little bit. Giovanardi determined not to leave the door open. He kept it tight into the corner. It's the same up towards the chicane. Now he's going to have to cover the inside. He does so. He's determined not to let anyone through like he did at Donington.
Yeah, there's a yellow flag there, but look at Turner. Turner's gone round the outside. Neal spun.
Neal gets hit.
Plato's hit him. Oh, the wheels come off. Plato's got 3 wheels on his wagon.
Cars everywhere littering the track on the exit off Clark Curve, but Giovanardi's still going. Fabrizio Giovanardi still leading this race. Darren Turner in second, and in the most dramatic fashion possible, Vauxhall are going to take their 100th British Touring Car win, their first win after a year, and Giovanardi, the Italian, takes his first victory in the series. But what a race, and what a lot of incidents to talk about. There's going to be a lot of arguing going on in the paddock after that one.
Oh, is there ever?
So the result of a remarkable second race, Giovanardi wins for Vauxhall, Turner takes second place, Gavin Smith is third, David Pinkney fourth, Jason Hughes in fifth place, and Matt Neal survives to finish in sixth. Mark Proctor took seventh, eighth place went to Gareth Howell, Martin Bell was ninth, and 10th place, 1 point, went to Colin Turkington. Thanks, Vicky. Well, as far as we know, this is the grid. Matt Neal will be on pole position. Jason Hughes will be alongside him. And then David Pinkney and Gavin Smith will be on the second row of the grid. Darren Turner and Fabrizio Giovanardi will be back on row number 3, ahead of Mark Proctor and Gareth Howell. Then it's Martin Bell in the BMW, ahead of Colin Turkington. Jason Plato's got plenty of work to do. Tom Chilton's down there with him. And Mike Jordan having to repair his car from earlier as well. Gordon Shedden, Rob Collard, James Kay, Adam Jones and Richard Marsh complete the grid that we know of, but things might have changed. And are all those cars going to be ready to race in race number 3? There is an opportunity.
Welcome back to Scotland. The numbers may be down, but the excitement factor is on the up. Here's race 3 from Knockhill, described, of course, by Ben and Tim.
The cars making their way round on the second of their green flag laps, and it's Mark Proctor that leads them. The privateer on pole position then ahead of Matt Neal, who's got a fantastic opportunity to open up more of an advantage in the points. Hughes 3rd, Pinkney 4th, Gavin Smith 5th, Giovanardi last race winner 6th. Then it's Howell, Martin Bell, Colin Turkington up there, a gap where Jason Plato should be. Tom Chilton starts in 11th place. There's a gap also where Mike Jordan should be. Gordon Shedden at 13th, Rob Collard, James Kay. Then behind them Richard Marsh and Darren Turner. No Adam Jones, that's another space on the grid there. So that's the situation as we get all set for the start of the 24th round of the 2006 Dunlop MSA British Touring Car Championship. Gareth Howell is lining up, remember, in 7th position, just coming up onto the line. We've got our radio with him. We won't talk to him just now, though. I think he's going to be getting a bit close to the start.
He certainly will, and 2 relatively slow laps from Mark Proctor at the front to warm the tyres up. Are we going to see the same action at the start of the race on cold tyres we saw before?
All set for 24 laps, maybe more if we have a safety car out there. It's the 3rd and final race of the day at the Knockhill circuit near Dunfermline in Fife, the only visit of the British touring cars to Scotland. We've seen some drama already today. Let's watch some more now. Waiting for the lights to go out. The red light's on now. And away we go. Mark Proctor trying to get off the line, but it's a good start from both front row men. Matt Neal with the advantage, though. It's Matt Neal who gets the edge, but Proctor's on the inside. Will he let Matt Neal get up in front? Yes, he does. Matt Neal leads. Proctor 2nd, Jason Hughes 3rd. Look at the 2 Vauxhalls there, side by side. Gavin Smith and Fabrizio Giovanardi. And now they're trying to mug David Pinkney. 3 cars abreast. Giovanardi lost out.
Yeah, I think, and so did Pinkney, and so I think that, well, yeah, Giovanardi, the big loser in that. Pinkney lost a couple of places. They're all trying to filter through. One of the Halfords cars is coming through, but good start at the front. Matt Neal's got the position he needs. He's got the lightest car he's had all weekend. He's in front, and he's got 2 privateers charging hard behind him.
Pinkney in the gravel on the grass, sorting it all out. A bit of a tank slapper, but he's back on track. Matt Neal, as you say, pulling away. Proctor in 2nd under pressure from Hughes. Hughes in the MG, trying to go right round the outside. It's a brave attempt, but if he can get the power on early, there could be a chance here. But Proctor now on the inside for the next corner. Behind them, Gareth Howell is trying to get alongside Gavin Smith. So it's all going on for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th places, and it's allowing Matt Neal to make a break up front.
Yeah, good opportunity for Matt Neal, and there goes Howell through there into 4th place.
Yeah, so Gareth Howell up into 4th place in the 2nd of the Team Halfords cars, the orange car there, only in his 2nd British Touring Car meeting of the season, was showing good pace. Behind him now is Gavin Smith and Fabrizio Giovanardi, but I gather the 3rd Vauxhall is in the pits. Tom Chilton, they've worked so hard to repair this car after the accident in the 2nd race, but maybe it was just too little time.
Yeah, they're looking under the front of Chilton's car, clearly didn't get all the damage repaired, and Mark Proctor's been mugged out. Clark, they've all swamped past him.
Yeah, Giovanardi was on the grass trying to get past, and he managed it as well. Pretty dangerous when it's so wet. Howell with Gavin Smith behind him, Giovanardi now with one of the MGs up the inside. That's Turkington trying to sneak through, but Giovanardi won't give up that place without much of a fight, and up over the line they come once again. Race leader Matt Neal, he's put him away, but it's all happening behind him once more, as we saw in race number 2. Look at Giovanardi versus Turkington, still side by side, and they just get through. Remember, those two had the incident at Donington when Turkington snatched victory from Giovanardi within sight of the checkered flag.
Yeah, Giovanardi just ducked out of that rather than trying to go around the outside. I think maybe everyone's realised that discretion might be the better part of valour, if that's ever possible in touring car racing, but fortunately they didn't clash.
Mark Proctor, the man who started on pole, is now about to be passed by Rob Collard and by Gordon Shedden. Shedden lining up on the inside. He's got the silver windscreen banner. Look at Darren Turner, started at the back in the yellow and silver Seat, and now he's already up there into the top 10 and claiming a few more scalps possibly. If he goes all the way around the outside, he might get squeezed out, but he holds his line pretty effectively, and he could well have gained a place there.
Yeah, the drivers can use that exit curve from the exit of the chicane now, or the hairpin rather. It is dry, it's got plenty of grip on it, so running around the outside is possible.
Darren Turner has a little look down the inside of the Team RAC MG of Collard, but couldn't quite net through. There's Turkington now putting the pressure on Smith. That's for 4th position, and Turkington so desperate to pick something out of this Knockhill weekend. He came into this meeting in 2nd place in the championship. He is still just holding it. Oh, and Marsh is off.
Oh, what a shame. The team did so well. They skipped the 2nd race to get the car repaired. Richards had his most competitive showing, and there you go. It's that cold right rear tyre that's just swapped ends on him going down the dip, and he's put it in the gravel. What a shame. They worked very hard to get him out.
They have indeed, but Gavin Smith and Colin Turkington are still racing hard. Smith ends up with a wheel in the gravel as he comes out of the Real Radio hairpin as a result, and in fact he's going to lose a place to his teammate Fabrizio Giovanardi with the red windscreen strip. The 100th race win emblazoned across both cars, the Vauxhalls. Finally they managed it. Those banners have been sitting in the truck for a year, and they've only just been able to use them, but at last they have, and now as they come around this lap, we've completed only 4 laps. We're on lap number 5 out of 24. Long way to go.
Yeah, no repeats apart from Richard Marsh of the problems on the first lap with cold tyres, and you have to take your hat off to Dunlop because they have to produce a tyre that works in cold conditions, hot conditions, and at every circuit. So hats off to Dunlop.
Safety car on track. You can see the note at the top of your screen, and that is because of car off, presumably Richard Marsh's car, and that's going to mean that we'll see the safety car on circuit. Everybody will have to stack up behind. Matt Neal leads. Gareth Howell has come up to 2nd place now. Gareth Howell, teammate to Matt Neal, up to 2nd position. He's passed Jason Hughes, who's 3rd, and Turkington, who's now in 4th position. 5th place for Giovanardi, 6th place for Gavin Smith. 6th place, just coming across the line there, was Collard, and dropped down to 7th place now is Mark Proctor. So the man who started in pole has dropped down to that position. Safety car just leading them round, and Matt Neal must be pretty happy with the way things are going currently. This is what he wants in terms of opening up that championship lead a little more, particularly now that he's got Gareth Howell behind him.
Yeah, he has. I mean, he's in an ideal position now, isn't he, with, as I say, a light car, a fast car, and a clear track in front of him once the safety car pulls on. But let's give a big shout out to Jason Hughes. Let's not forget he's the big independent up there, and he's still holding his position, although he's got the big guns running up behind him now, the Vauxhalls and Turkington, who I'm sure he'll probably let through because they run under the same camp at West Surrey Racing.
Well, Jason Hughes still in a good position here. He's running in 3rd place in the Karts World MG, and staying ahead for the moment of Colin Turkington, another MG, both bioethanol powered now, as we know. Giovanardi following through. Everybody just trying to keep a bit of tyre temperature. Gordon Shedden's still got some work to do. He's still, I think he was a bit of a victim of some of the incidents going on. He's dropped down to 10th position. Pinkney Whale down in 11th place. Martin Bell down in 12th. The BMW right at the back of the queue there, the only rear-wheel drive car that's in there. They were trying to get Richard Marsh's car out of the way. Meanwhile, let's see if we can have a chat with Gareth Howell, up to 2nd place now. Ben to Gareth. Gareth, things going well for you now, mate, up to 2nd place. How's it feeling?
Yeah, I just suddenly found myself here really, Ben. Managed to pick up a couple of guys, just seeing now if the rain's going to hold off, but yeah, a couple of clean moves, stayed out of the carnage and picked them off really.
So you acting as rear gunner now, are you, for Matt?
Well, we went to the RAF school on Thursday, so I know to be a wingman now.
Okay, Gareth, just make sure you don't drop back too far on the restarts. We all know what happens then. Good luck with the rest of it. We've still got the lights on the safety car, and they're coming across the line now, so another lap completed. 6 laps completed in the book. Let's go down to the pits and hear from Vicky, who's with Tom Chilton.
Well, mixed fortunes for Vauxhall. You, unfortunately, having the bad luck. Yeah, I haven't had the luck this weekend. It was really unfortunate in that last race, you know, because the guys tried so hard to get the car ready, and they did. All credit to them. We're on the grid, and just going around there, loads of smoke came in the car and it was revving and it wasn't going anywhere. It didn't pull away here, so I think the clutch has just gone. I mean, we just had such bad luck, but I'm really pleased for Fabrizio getting the 100th race win for Vauxhall.
Will it keep morale up, do you think, for the rest of the year?
It's certainly going to lift a little bit of morale, but for myself, I've just lost a lot of points in the drivers' manufacturer, because it was very close between three of us, and all year I've been leading the Vauxhall drivers, and I think now I've just gone slipped to the bottom just because of one bad weekend, so I have to really pull it together for the last two.
Thanks a lot, Tom.
The lights are out on the safety car. We're all set now for the cars to be racing once again, and as they head up out of real radio hairpin, it's Matt Neal who gets the hammer down, accelerates hard. Gareth Howell doing a good job of staying with him, and Jason Hughes and Colin Turkington right behind him, and it's Turkington, the major threat for third place. Colin Turkington down the inside there of Jason Hughes. He's up into third now. He could be a major threat to the two Team Halfords cars.
He certainly could. There's going to be no respite for the two Halfords cars. They're going to have to keep their foot down, and Matt Neal will not be able to cruise this one with Turkington fired up, nothing to lose, going for points. Not surprised that Jason Hughes led him through. He has help from West Surrey, and now the two Vauxhalls going up on him.
Yeah, so Giovanardi's through now as well. This could end up being pretty exciting. Mark Proctor in the background running wide, so did Darren Turner, but they all got away with it. Matt Neal and Gareth Howell will try and ease themselves away from that MG, but the MG has shown great pace in the dry here at Knockhill. Struggled in the greasy conditions, but look how quick he is into the hairpin, and he's really going on the attack. I don't want to warn you too much here, but Howell and Turkington had it coming together here last year. They're former teammates, but they have had a little bit of history of inadvertent contact. Let's hope they keep it clean here.
Yeah, they drove together both at MG when it was under Team Atomic Kitten sponsorship, and as you say, they came together down that dip we've just been through last year, but certainly I think from Howell's point of view, he needs Matt Neal to get a lick on, really.
Yeah, he does. He doesn't want to be too squashed in this sandwich at the moment in second place, but he's got to focus ahead, follow Matt Neal, try and keep Colin Turkington behind. Turkington, though, absolutely fired up to get something out of a disappointing day so far. The first two races have not gone his way at all. Now he can sense a chance of scoring real points. He closes up to the back of the Team Halfords Honda of Gareth Howell, and Matt Neal just eases away, maybe a car length or so. These three pulling away, just a touch from Fabrizio Giovanardi in fourth place, then Gavin Smith, Rob Collard, Jason Hughes, Mark Proctor, Gordon Shedden up to ninth, and Darren Turner now in 10th, and those guys all fighting away in the background as we focus on the three leaders.
Yeah, all of them using a lot of the curbs now. The track is dry, and the curbs can be used, so they're really attacking the corners hard. There you go, across the chicane, on board with Howell. Great shot there, no fear of the curbs at all.
Yeah, this is how we're on board with second place man. You've got Matt Neal just ahead of you. That was the corner where there was such a huge, chaotic accident at the end of the second race, and so many cars were damaged. That's why we haven't got Jason Plater. It's why we haven't got Mike Jordan. It's why, as we heard, Tom Chilton couldn't run in this race, despite the team's best efforts. But so far, so good. It's been pretty clean in this one. And as they chase themselves out of the hairpin, across the line, they'll go across the line to complete 11 laps and go on to lap number 12 out of 27. Not time for the tyres to work hard here, and they do get a pounding sort of traction they need out of that hairpin, so the front tyres are scrabbling for grip, particularly when the temperatures are not that high. Again, it's tight through the right-hander at Scotsman.
Yeah, and Shedden now has the fastest lap in actual fact coming through. But Turkington very much fired up and able to hang on to the back of them. We've just had Jason Hughes sadly come into the pits. He did drop down very quickly, so clearly a problem for him. So the rate of attrition here at Knockhill this weekend has been tremendous.
It has. We've lost a lot of cars, I'm afraid, due to incidents and reliability problems. It is a tough circuit on the cars. You're on board with Matt Neal, watching the tall man at work. He is the reigning champion. He is the series leader. He's trying to become the first driver in around 20 years to get back-to-back British touring car titles. But he knows that he's got to keep pushing. He's got to keep scoring points consistently. So far, so good. He's had some decent results here this weekend, today already, and now we've got to see if he can hold on in the lead of this one. Further back now then, Shedden has moved up. He's up to 5th place. Gordon Shedden
the third of the Team Halfords cars has got past Giovanardi.
Yeah, well, he had that fastest lap last time, and now he's past Giovanardi, and as you say, he really is flying up in 5th place. He'll want to finish this weekend on a high. He's had two bad races here at his home race, so he could do a great job in this last race.
What he's got to do, though, is to try and get past Gavin Smith fairly quickly, and then try and close the gap up. It's nearly 4 seconds from these three, the three leaders, back to that next group, so Shedden's got some work to do. First of all, his target is that green and white and red Vauxhall.
Yeah, look at that water down there. And that water there is actually running across the track from the paddock area as a result of the rain we've had all day. It runs across the track on the exit of the hairpin, collects down in a basin, and then collects on the track at the bottom. But it does make overtaking into that hairpin very difficult.
And of course, that's a favoured position, so if you can't overtake into the hairpin, it makes life pretty difficult. It's hard enough to overtake anyway. Watch the curve they use here, right over that curve, clambering over it with the right-hand side of the car. And again, they tend to do that into this next right-hander at Clark as well. Matt Neal just controlling it at the moment quite nicely. Gavin Smith fending off Shedden, then Giovanardi and Darren Turner. So Darren Turner also making progress. He's up to 7th from the very back of the grid. And now he's up against the Italian. He had a great dice with him in race number 2 for the race victory. And now we're going to see what he can do here. Further behind, we've got Mark Proctor and Rob Collard, and then behind them Dave Pinkney still running. He'll be a bit disappointed to be that far back. And the leaders cross the line. That's 14 laps now, onto lap number 15. Down into the first corner, Sayat curves, plunges downhill, completely blind as he turned into the corner. Really got to attack this one. There's the gap back to Mark Proctor. Needs to hold on reasonably well up front for the first half a lap. The hill went wrong after that. Yeah, but he's holding off Collard very well, and you've got to take your hat off. I hope this isn't Mark Proctor's last race, but if it is, he's certainly doing himself credit. Sporting quite a black eye, quite a shiner this weekend, Mark Proctor, as a result of, as you said, working on his own car. He said the ratchet slipped when he was doing up something on the gearbox the other day. It flew off and whacked him in the eye. That shows you the dangers of working on your own car.
Yeah, in fact, his mechanic threatened that if he didn't look after the car, he'd give him another shiner on the other eye to match it. But he's doing a good job now. Oh, now we've got Shedden up past Smith very quickly, as you said, and he's done it down at that tricky wet hairpin.
Yeah, that's a good effort from Gordon Shedden. Now, he could well be the man to watch here. Can he close the gap on that third-place man, Gareth Howell? That's the challenge that he's got now, to see whether he can do it. And I say third place because Turkington now is the man behind Neil and trying to pressurise him, trying to get past him. So Shedden is the one to watch, fastest on the circuit so far, and now he's got to try and close up that gap.
Yeah, we didn't see how Turkington got past Howell, did we? We haven't seen that, but Turkington now elevated to 2nd position and potentially able to put Matt Neal under pressure. There we are, look, as we speak, he's right there. So Howell's made a cock-up somewhere to let him through.
On the slippery stuff on the inside, Turkington's attacking. Howell's going to get back at him, and he's going to squeeze him to the outside here. Howell takes advantage of that and repasses into 2nd place. Well, that was Turkington trying to go for the lead, and in so doing, left himself open to attack.
Yeah, Gareth Howell making up for whatever it was that let Turkington come through. Very good move that up the inside, and got straight back into 2nd place, but still under pressure. As I say, really, he would like it if Neil could stretch it away, because he's in a difficult position of trying to protect his rear, but still race.
Yeah, that's right. It's tricky, very, very tricky. And Turkington will be kicking himself now. He'd done the hard work of getting into 2nd place and was all ready to take it to Matt Neal for the race win, but now he's got to do it all over again. Let's see how it happened, how Howell was passed.
This was earlier into that same hairpin, and Turkington got cleanly up the inside, a really good move, but it only lasted a lap before Howell paid him back.
He's done it again, has he? He's done it again as they come out of the hairpin. Yes, he has. So Turkington's got back into 2nd. He's using that wet bit of road quite bravely, and it's working for him.
Well, yeah, don't listen to us commentators. What do we know? They've proved they can overtake there, and here we are again. And this is a real classic late lunge up the inside, right across the water without running wide. Very difficult to do that. And to his credit, Howell gave him plenty of room.
Yeah, he did. Howell was very sensible there. He didn't want to end up with contact. He wanted to finish. Now you're on board with Howell. A little puff of smoke there, and a strange place with the chicane on that rear tyre as it comes off the ground and back down onto it again. Turkington attacking in 2nd place, trying to get after championship leader Matt Neal. Turkington is still his nearest rival in the points. Plato very close with him in the points, but they're all trying to chase down Matt Neal, and he's right behind him now and having a little look into the hairpin. Alongside, is he? He is alongside. Turkington squeezing, and he's in front, but can he hold it as they come up over the line? Colin Turkington is ahead, and Matt Neal may be happy to say, well, if you want it that much, I might settle for second.
Well, maybe the events of Snetterton are going to make Matt Neal realise that he doesn't need to fight for every position and every victory, and he's in a very safe second position now. There's no way that he can be threatened for second place, so the points that he loses for first, he might as well let Turkington have it and not risk a non-finish. Great move. I mean, hard but fair.
Yeah, Turkington taking advantage of that little bit of space. Here's another great view from Howell's car. Look at that dive down the inside, just enough space because Neal wasn't quite coming into the apex at that point. It was hard, but as you say, he got through, and
Yeah.
Matt
Neal's car, I think, is still suffering from the second race activities. Well, he's got a chance here. Has Turkington got a problem? Turkington was very slow just coming out, and now Howell's coming up to pass. But just to finish what I was saying, I asked Steve Neal, the team boss, I said, you know, whose is the heaviest damaged car after that second race? He said, well, it's actually Matt. So maybe that's why he hadn't got perhaps as much pace as we thought. But clearly Turkington had some problem coming out of the hairpin there.
Now he's down to third. He was leading a moment ago, and now he's in third place in car number 6. All these orange cars, it's getting a bit difficult to pick out one from the other. And the other orange car joining in the fun and games now is Gordon Shedden as well.
Yeah, absolutely no obvious problem there.
So that was a view. This is another view once again of how Turkington lost second place. Gareth Howell had a great run up the hill, and there wasn't much he could do.
No, I mean, well, in actual fact, at this point, he's reasonably well in front, but Howell braved out on the brakes into the Sayat corner and got through.
And he's dropped behind Shedden.
Now Shedden's got through, and look, there's a problem for Turkington. He's slowing right down.
Yeah, he's in major problems now. So Colin Turkington across the line, and it's all gone horribly wrong again. He's not had any luck at all this weekend at Knockhill, has Colin Turkington. And look at this, what a performance from Team Halfords. They are running 1, 2, 3. And in terms of the team's championship, where they're very, very close with Sayat Sport UK, this is a dream result. Matt Neal leading the Drivers' Championship, able to open up the gap, and both other cars right up there. Take another look. What happened to Turkington?
The engine cut out again. Every time he goes round a corner, the engine's cutting out. Maybe some little electrical problem, because when the car's running, it runs fine, but then it keeps stopping and cutting out, and now it's cut out for good. What a shame. He had the potential to win that race, and it's just stopped. What a shame.
And we could be witnessing really the end of his challenge for the championship this year. To be honest, Tim, it's just gone horribly wrong this weekend, and we go into just 2 more events, and he's going to have a huge points deficit.
Yep, for him and for Plato. The weekend started off well for Plato with pole and a win in the first race, but from that moment on it's been a disaster. Obviously 2 more non-finishes to add to the 6 Plato had already had. Turkington not running particularly strongly the first couple of races, but the potential to win this race has not come good again, and through it all Halford's team dynamics and Matt Neal have stretched the points lead inexorably.
I wonder if there's a little frustration for Gordon Shedden in particular here. He's the third of these 3 cars. I don't know whether he's going to try and attack his teammate, whether Gareth's going to let him through.
I think actually Gareth has moved over, and well, I can't believe that they're going to let Gordon Shedden win his home race and take some points off Matt Neal, but clearly they've decided to let Shedden finish second out of this perfect hand of cards that Team Halfords have, running 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, of course, because Gordon Shedden trying to take 4th place in the championship. This was the move. It was straightforward. Howell moved out of his way, and Gordon went through. Shedden's currently lying in 5th place. He will take 4th as a result of this race, whatever happens. May even have a chance still of getting 3rd in the series, so they want to get Gordon as many points as possible, and that's why they've made the little change, and in fact he is allowing him through.
Well, there you go. I mean, is this just the most amazing hand that Halfords have got, that they can play with the points and the championship so much to allow Shedden to win on his home track and gain maximum points in his position. They obviously, he's so confident in Matt Neal's position now in the championship that he can finish second.
Yeah, that's pretty remarkable, but Shedden, of course, fastest on track. In many ways, he deserves a decent result here this weekend because he's been very quick. He just hasn't been able to convert it into a top race result, and he's come from way down on the grid. He was 13th on the grid for this final race of the day, and it does look as though he's going to add to his win tally. He's already had several wins this season, double victory at Donington, and here we go. This was the moment he took the lead.
Yeah, Matt Neal just lifting off on the run down to Clark to allow Shedden to slip through on the inside. You know, unless the only possibility that we're not aware of is that Matt Neal has some problem.
Well, you did say that perhaps the car's still not handling well after the crash earlier on. The team doing a great job of getting the car back out. Maybe they just want to take it a bit easy, let Shedden run away and see what's going on behind here. Giovanardi running in 6th place, Collard in 7th in the Team RAC car. You're riding on board with Collard now. And is he going to go on the attack here down into the hairpin? Could well go for it. Clouds are looking a bit threatening. Giovanardi's wide. Oh, he's hit him. He's hit him big sideways. And that could have allowed, yeah, it's allowed the guys behind, Proctor and Pinckney, to dive through. Oh, Giovanardi's not happy. He's trying to squeeze his way back in, and he's done it.
Well, he's got through. I mean, he did a great save there. I think Collard went up the inside, and I think he'll lock his brakes up on the water because he's still going quite low. He locked the rear brakes, actually. He locked the rear brakes. Slid into Giovanardi, who did a great job of saving it. Pinckney then hit Proctor, but Giovanardi had enough momentum to get back in the lead by the end of the straight.
That was another case of wacky races going on there out of the hairpin. Gordon Shedden back to second. Look, Matt Neal's back in front. Are they just putting on a little display for us here? What's going on, Jim?
I think that the event's unfolded so fast for them, they probably couldn't work it all out over the radio, but I'm sure there's plenty of radio chatter between them.
Yeah, across the line they're coming this time. That is 25 laps completed. We're on to lap 26 out of 27. And Matt Neal perhaps being told, right, we want you to get the maximum points here. The fastest lap already has gone to Gordon Shedden. He'll of course gain a point, won't he? Maybe that's part of it, because you do gain an extra point if you lead the race at any stage. And that could be why they did it.
Yeah, good enough to lead the race and get the extra point, absolutely right.
So Matt Neal will then still get maximum points out of this race apart from fastest lap, and Gordon Shedden will have got the best number of points you could possibly have for finishing second, because by leading for a lap he gains a bonus. So Gareth Howell's got to sit there and watch his teammates have this fun up in front of him, but then he's joined in the team a bit later this year, shown he's got every bit the same pace as these other two guys. And what impresses me in a way is that, you know, we were talking earlier about this is a team that has been successful in touring cars over the last few years, run of course by Matt Neal's father, Steve Neal, and perfectly capable of running a full works effort, and it's proved here. They're running 3 cars, but the rain is falling.
Yeah, I tell you what, these guys have been mighty relieved it is the last lap, because it's actually drizzling fairly hard out there. The wipers went on Howell's car, the last of the 3, and it really could get slippery very quickly.
Well, let's hope they all keep it on the island in this closing lap then. It is running towards the checkered flag now, and it looks as though it is going to be victory for Matt Neal, and not just that, it's going to be a 1-2-3 finish, a dominant performance by Team Halfords. Everything has come their way here today, and that is a very, very impressive performance indeed.
It certainly is. You can't do better than that. 1-2-3, the least dramatic of our 3 races today, but a perfect result for Matt Neal and Halford.
Here we go, checker flag awaits, and it's going to be Matt Neal to take the maximum points. Second place goes to Gordon Shedden, third place to Gareth Howell, and the team rightly celebrating. Steve Neal, team boss, team owner. Well, it must be one of his finest days, because they are marching towards the championship. Darren Turner 4th, Smith in 5th, Giovanardi in 6th, ahead of Collard, Pinckney, Proctor and Bell.
So, jubilation along the pit wall for Team Halfords, a 1-2-3 for them. And is it the day that Matt Neal can say, I have retained the title? We'll be talking to him when we come back. So let's confirm that is the way it finished. Matt Neal, Gordon Shedden and Gareth Howell, a 1-2-3 for Team Halfords. What a great finish for them. Darren Turner ending 4th. Matt, congratulations to you. Do you feel like you've won the title now?
I feel like the team's had a big day today, and everyone in Team Halfords and Clydesdale who sponsored the day, and one of our...
Here's Gareth as well.
Wingman.
You've all helped each other, but effectively you've helped this man to retain his title. Can you say you've won it here this weekend?
Oh, no. There's 6 races to go, and there's a long way to go yet, but it hasn't hurt us this weekend, and it's been fairly fraught in times, and he's had a rough weekend, and I've had my moments, but so to finish for the team for a 1-2-3, our first ever 1-2-3 for Team Halfords is fantastic.
And here being at home, bet you enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Just such a, crap day was the only way to describe it until the start of that third race, and it was mega. And how my car even held together for the full race distance, I'll never know. But thank all the mechanics at Team Halfords. I mean, to even get the car on the grid was a revelation, and for it to finish on the podium, 1, 2, 3 for Halfords. What teamwork!
53-point lead you have got, so that's quite healthy. Even though Jason Plato described you as driving like, well, pretty crap today.
Jason's got his opinion about lots of things.
He does, and he tells us about them.
I know, yeah. Fair play to Jason.
All right, well done, congratulations. Great weekend for them. Let's have a look at the team standings after that 1, 2, 3. Here is Matt Neal on top with that huge lead over Colin Turkington and Jason Plato.